First, we want to apply power to our gateway. As that's powering up, we want to connect to the Ethernet via ETH1, which is the WAN port. The gateway will take a few moments to connect to the online management software. We'll know that the connection has been established when the USR light turns on solid. When that's complete, we can begin to configure our network. Now we can go into the management software. As you can see, I've already set up my account information, registered and logged in. The first thing you will need to do when connecting to a device for the first time is to claim that gateway. To do that, you go to Devices, Claim Release Devices, and type in the device ID or serial number and the MAC address. This can be found on the back of the unit in the upper left-hand corner. When that information is entered, click Check Device ID and you will see that this device is available to be claimed. Click Claim Device. You can now go back to Devices and confirm that the gateway is listed and showing an online status. We can then click on that device ID and see information about our gateway like firmware, status, MAC address, installed apps, etc. From here you can go ahead and click on Wzzard Mesh and see the devices in our tree and node discovery is on. At this point we can begin to power up our Wzzard nodes. To take them out of sleep, press the button for 5 seconds and the LED should start to flash, showing that it's searching for a network. We can do this for however many nodes we have. As the nodes start to connect to our network, you can see that they will begin to show up in our tree. When they first appear, since they don't have any network data, they will show a yellow status. The network itself will also show a yellow status. Once all the nodes are on and appear in the browser, click the boxes next to our nodes and click Claim Nodes. You will then get a confirmation pop-up for each of the commands sent and when the command was completed successfully. When completed and the nodes are now claimed, you will see the nodes have a green locked icon. This means that the nodes are locked onto this network with their own private network ID and join key. Now, one thing you may want to note, this icon on the gateway here is showing us that node discovery is still on. That will stay on for 24 hours. But if your network is complete, you can manually go into that gateway settings and turn node discovery to off. You won't see any new nodes on the network waiting to be claimed. It will take a few moments for the system to turn off node discovery. Now we have a lockdown network that no other nodes can join. So now if we want to configure each of these devices, you can pull down more of the tree and see what kind of I/O you have on these devices. This device has 2 analog inputs, a digital input, a digital output, 2 temperatures that are thermocouples, 2 temperatures that are thermistors, a temperature that is internal to the device, and the battery voltage in the device itself. From here we can start to configure our nodes. I can click on the node in the tree. I can see that it is operational, claimed, what type of node it is, and the firmware version. From there I can configure the node itself. Really, the only thing to configure on this node is the measurement interval. I have this one set to a 1-minute interval, but you can change that at any time. If a change is made, you will see a prompt to either view and save our changes or to discard them. We will click to view these changes. As you can see, it shows we made the measurement interval change to 30 seconds and on which node the change was made. We will go ahead and click Apply Changes, and again you can see the command box showing us what information is sent to the devices. You can now go back to the node and confirm that those changes were applied. If I want to configure any of my inputs, I can click on the input in the tree. You can enable or disable the sensor, change measurement type and units. I'm getting this back as a volt since it's set to voltage, but what I can do is change the reporting value in the data enrichment engineering unit to match what I'm actually measuring. For instance, if I have a level meter that goes between 0 and 5 volts to show a tank that's either empty or full, I would say that the measurement value of 0 volts is 0% full and a measurement of 5 volts is 100% full. So in this case, it shows me that a scaling from 0 to 5 volts will show 0 to 100%, and I would change this unit to percent full. So again, when I make any changes, it will show at the top. Click to view any changes, then changes are shown here. Click Apply Changes to save. We can now go back and confirm those changes. The other thing that happens now, we can select the node in the tree and we can see the measured sensor values. This is for any troubleshooting. If you've already connected your sensors and you want to make sure that they're showing the right values, we can select the node and click Update Data. It will read on our tree that the input tank is 0% full. We don't have any other sensors connected at this point, so the only inputs reading correctly are battery voltage and the internal temperature. If I wanted to show that in Fahrenheit, I can go to that sensor and click F from the measurement unit. Click to view changes, apply, then click Update Data, and you can see that the changes have been made in the node itself. So that's basically how you configure both your network and the nodes. Fairly simple. Once you configure all of your node and sensor settings on one node, you can replicate your settings to any nodes of the same type. All of the settings from the measurement interval on down to the sensor scaling will be copied. So if you were to have a network of say 100 nodes hooked up to one gateway, you would only have to configure the setting on one of your nodes and copy those settings into all the rest.